my name is Desiree with theastrologyaddiction.com, and thank you so much for watching. Today's video is going to be on Kourtney Kardashian, and she's been recently in the news or trending because of her fight with Kim Kardashian. They had like a all-out brawl and she punched her or something. So people were talking about the fact that Kourtney's an Aries and Kim is a Libra, and they're just, you know, signs that oppose each other, so they can have really, you know, strong fights when they do get in arguments. And Kourtney was born on April 18th, 1979 at 3:15 a.m. in Los Angeles, California. So she is a Capricorn Moon, an Aries Sun, Mars, and Mercury, and she's a Pisces rising with her Venus in the first house. So Venus in the same sign as your rising sign will usually make you someone who people are attracted to. You have good looks, good facial symmetry. You can even use your looks at times to manipulate people, you know, in manipulative ways to get what you want. But you can also be someone who really values peace, harmony, creativity. You know, you might not be someone who really wants to work very hard. You probably want to indulge in that Venus, you know, especially Venus in Pisces. You may want to help people. You know, you can be someone who may not really value material possessions as much. And we've seen that on the show quite a bit. You know, she is somewhat of a hypocrite in that way because she has a lot of really nice things, really expensive items, shoes, clothes, purses, but she really does preach and talk about you know, not being so materialistic, and I think that's something that is really important to her. Now, her moon in Capricorn really shows that she emotionally does value physical things, values money, values power, fame, and that she's someone who that is very important to for her emotional you know, satisfaction. Probably getting you know, a lot of feedback and attention online that is positive really makes her feel more powerful, and like that she is making a difference. Capricorn Moon people are usually people who are pretty career oriented, or at certain times they can go in ebbs and flows. She was a business owner, and they did own Dash and a few other Dash stores, and you know, she did go to college, so she is someone who is you know, intelligent and values those types of structures and establishments like university. But her Mercury is at 0 degrees of Aries, and that is something that's really important because this would definitely make someone more so verbally, will say things before they really fully think them through. Aries placements in general are really act and speak before they think or before they process. They move so more on their gut instinct and their intuition. So she's probably someone who, you know, has, and we've seen it on TV, you know, said things and not really been super careful of hurting other people's feelings or hurting people in any way. She, you know, can sometimes be a little aggressive in the things that she says and in her opinions, and even self-isolating. Sometimes Aries are definitely selfish and independent, and they come off really tough and hard, like they don't care, but it's more of a defense mechanism, you know, to show people that they are strong. And not to say that they aren't, but they usually are pretty sensitive to criticism and sensitive to people, you know, coming after them or saying things about them or being aggressive towards them. So they usually will do that first. You know, they don't want to hear people coming at them or, you know, starting any confrontations with them. You know, they'd rather be the ones that put that wall up first. Now, her Mars is in Aries as well, and it is getting pretty close to an opposition to Pluto in Libra. So I can definitely see why she would have, you know, aggression and, you know, fights with people who are Libran, because it's opposite to that Mars. And her Mars for her is in the second house, and again in Aries. So if she is upset, she can be very, you know, aggressive, very physical, and even just have really high obsessive emotions from that. Her Mars in Aries is a very strong placement. Mars does well in Aries, so if she makes up her mind about getting something going or doing a project, she can have a lot of ambition for it, especially right away in the beginning stages. She may be obsessed with things and really get into things 100%, but it's harder for her to stick it out and follow through with those types of things. It's harder for her to stick through things to the end or have consistency with it. She probably gets just really excited about projects in the beginning or work that she's doing, and, you know, maybe has a harder time following through. The Capricorn Moon speaks to that longevity though, so if it is something that she really wants to do and really finds important, finds that there's a lot of true value there, then she can certainly keep going until the end. Her Juno is also in Aries, and that is the asteroid of marriage, so that would show that she, you know, needs to be in a partnership that has a lot of independence, allowing, you know, a lot of freedom. She couldn't be with someone who wanted to be, you know, next to her and with her constantly all of the time. She wants to be with someone who is courageous, powerful, ambitious, strong, you know, a really, like, you know, Aries is a sign of war. It's the most masculine sign, so she definitely, you know, needs a partner who is very strong and powerful and even aggressive a little bit, or even just a partner that just isn't afraid of her. You know, people with Aries placements, sometimes people can be afraid of them, you know, not want to get too close to them. They can find them to be, you know, a little bit unemotional, selfish, carefree, and people who don't really think through things all the way, people who don't stick with things until the end. And a marriage, you know, is something that takes forever. You know, you are literally committed to this person, and Aries placements just, they're more about the passion, the lust, the fun part. So she needs a partner that can keep that alive and going for her. So she also has her sun squared to Jupiter at 29 degrees of Cancer. So I think family for her is super important. Her Jupiter is in the 5th house, and that shows that she will have, you know, a lot of children or have a real mothering instinct. Jupiter in the 5th house will just expand whichever area it is in. So for children, creativity, romance, those are the real, you know, important things for her. She wants to put her time into children. She wants to put her time into romance, traveling, higher education, and she can even overdo it in those areas a little bit. Now her North Node is in Virgo, and it is pretty close to Saturn. So that shows that her purpose and her, you know, meaning for coming to this life was to really be a healer and to be someone who is, you know, focused on organic type of living, someone who is minimalistic, who helps other people, who is selfless, even maybe for her children, you know, giving up a lot of her ambitions and her desires to be there for her children. In the 7th house, it also shows that she does need to learn how to be selfless and how to give herself up to a relationship and to trust people. You know, Virgo is the sign of selflessness, of servantry, and of health. So those things are certainly, you know, where she needs to be focusing her you know, goals and ambition, and I think she's definitely done that in a really good way so far. She does a lot of blog posts on, you know, organic living, healthy living, you know, dieting, you know, giving back to the environment, and I think that's certainly where she needs to really commit her time and commit her energy, even so that it's in the 7th house of contracts and business partnerships. If she can find a partner if she can find maybe a business partner who is able to really help her in those goals, that would be really beneficial to her. You know, Aries are always encouraging other people to do things and being motivational, you know, for other people. She really needs to find like a teammate who is very health oriented and who is, you know, selfless, and someone that can encourage her. And encourage her not to just start projects, but to stick with things, commit to things, you know, be loyal to her purpose. And, you know, that's all, you know, life. Everyone's trying to find their purpose, but that for her is definitely an area that she does need to continue to go towards, and in a way that is going to build something, you know, in the physical world that will last. Now she has her midheaven in Sagittarius, and it's actually conjunct to Neptune. When we see Neptune on the midheaven or on the ascendant, usually this means that people are pretty good at shape-shifting and at, you know, changing up their personas. Even, you know, Neptune has to do with Hollywood, so it's oftentimes people that have Neptune on their angles will be comfortable being in the public eye. They can even give off an image of ethereal kind of beauty, and that people are definitely attracted to. She can also be someone who, you know, prefers like privacy in the public eye. She wants to maybe not lie directly, but deceive people so they see what she wants them to see, and so they don't see the real, you know, depth of things. And I think that's something that has been playing out in the last, I mean, I haven't seen too many of the seasons, but a few episodes I have paid attention to where she was, you know, hiding her like relationships and not wanting to be on camera so much. It wasn't important to her. Usually people with Neptune on their midheaven will be, they won't care so much about career or care that much about what people think about them, but they want to give off an image, you know, the Neptune image, the magical, mystical, like mysterious image. So people, you know, might still feel that way about her, that she's not very transparent. Now her part of fortune is in Gemini, which is very interesting. You know, Gemini is all about curiosity, learning, communication. So I think that definitely shows that she will find a lot of true happiness through, you know, communicating with friends, with family. You know, it's in the 4th house, so building a home with a partner who is able to meet a lot of those needs that she has and keep her curious, keep her excited. Even storytelling could be something that she could venture into and find a lot of happiness through. Going back and telling her family story, telling her history, her lineage, you know, going back into her family patterns and doing studies. I think just looking back to what has happened from her family history is interesting. You know, a lot of people are really curious and interested in like her father's work, what her mother did, and just even back further. So if she would be able to maybe go and do some studying in there, maybe write a book on that, or, you know, create something like a film or something where she's able to tell a story, that would be something that I think she would really find a lot of true happiness from. So thank you guys so much for watching. This was a mini reading on Kourtney Kardashian, and I again am a big fan of Kourtney, so please let me know your feedback in the comments and like and subscribe to my channel. Please also hit the bell notification so that you're notified whenever I post new videos. And if you're interested in booking a reading with me, that link is in my description box. Thanks again. Have a good day. Bye.